Hey, Zach. It's a bit bright. It's a bit bright in there, isn't there? Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, and the reason I was late was because I was trying to like break down some cardboard. So, because I don't know if you could tell, because it's just like fucking white back there.
Yeah, it's heaven.
The window, it's like a normal window with the blinds on it, and then there's a little archway above it
Mm-hmm.
that has no blinds. So it's just always open there.
Yeah.
So I had broken down cardboard from like a toilet paper box, put it up there, and it looks super white trash. But I was like, you know what? If it fucking works, then I can have it up there for an hour and it'd be no problem.
Right.
And it'd do a fucking thing. It's just that window is just always fucking bright.
So it's one big, like, it's got like an archway kind of to where you can't even put up.
Yeah, so like the normal window is the rectangle, and then right above it is like a little archway that has no blinds, no coverage.
That seems like a major flaw in the design, because like you can't even put up like curtains or whatever. I know this looks white trash too, because it's all wrinkly, but
I could put up curtains because Casey's room has curtains up over, and her window has the same archway.
Oh, okay.
But we have to use like command strips because we can't drill into the wall.
Right.
We put command strips up, and that holds up the pole or whatever.
Okay. I just kept it simple. I just used thumbtacks and just like you could see it. Hold on.
I don't think my wife would be okay with thumbtacks.
No. Yeah, and it's really white trash, but it works. That thing hasn't come down. You know, I'm worried that one day I'm just gonna have like my green screen is like right there, and then it could easily just hit it and knock it down. So
it's just another confirmation that I need to get my bedroom computer properly set up. So
if there was anything that could motivate you more than having a good, easy recording space, it's
pitch black in there. Like I have curtains up in there, and there's no sunlight ever touches that room.
Yeah, as a bedroom should. You know, yes. We're recording in mine, or I'm recording in mine, so yeah.
Let me pull up Twitch. Full disclosure.
Yes.
We might have to go on a break in the middle, depending on when my groceries go.
Okay.
Get here.
That's okay. I can keep the folks entertained.
Cool.
You just watch some funny Goose videos, like them attacking children, apparently.
Yeah, get that kid. Geese are mean, man.
They're bastards.
And like, sorry, I gotta mute. I gotta mute the Twitch stream because I'm getting the echo back on me. Have you seen like their teeth?
Oh yeah,
they actually have teeth.
Monsters.
It's terrifying.
Monsters.
They're like little tiny razor blades.
Yeah, they got shark teeth, man. Look at that thing. Look at them go. That's not a goose, but pelicans too.
Bird. Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into it for a little bit because I saw Jurassic World Dominion, but straight up dinosaurs. They're one step away from just taking over the world. Hence why we're trying to change the name. You know, we're trying to put some.
Honestly, yeah.
We're good geese.
We're putting good goose vibes out there.
Yeah. Zach, did you have a good week? So, have you had a good week?
I've had a pretty good week. Yeah. It was a little busy.
Fair enough.
I'm taking my glasses off because the stupid fucking light is reflecting back in them.
You're like an anime character with like the
shing.
Yes, I'm up to no good.
This is my plan. Yes. Week's been pretty good. I finished off Sifu, which I talked about last week. So I moved on from there. And I started up playing some Hot Wheels Unleashed, which I don't know if you're familiar with.
So you mentioned it in our friend group chat, and I didn't get a chance to check out the trailer, but I do remember like seeing. I remember like hearing about it at least, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's So there's a couple older Hot Wheels games. It's basically just kind of along the same lines of those. Just
Hot Wheels Dominion?
fast.
Uh, Unleashed. I don't know why Dominion is.
Because Jurassic Park Dominion, you weirdo.
I don't know why Hot Wheels and Dominion makes any sense either.
That sounds like a fucking dark turn for the Hot Wheels franchise.
Ah, well.
Oh wow, yeah, it just started on the most controversial part of this game.
I just clicked ahead. Why? Why is this like a track that's?
No. There was a blind box when you first press play, and so one of the big things about Hot Wheels Unleashed is just this fast, frenetic racing game. It's just like hit, go, and never stop. But yeah, one of the sore spots of it is that it has this blind box system,
Right.
Which is built into a season pass or a battle pass for Hot Wheels.
They don't even have like a. They don't have like a not free to play for the entire game, but like you can.
So it's
What?
divvied up.
Cosmetics and stuff.
For instance, right now they have a DC sort of season pass, battle pass going on right now. So
Right.
the more experience you get by doing races, the more levels you get in the season, and then that unlocks like specific DC. There's like a Batman car, an Aquaman car. There's a bunch of customization options that you can do for like decals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that portion, and then there's the non-season pass portion where you just unlock things regularly by doing this campaign mode here.
Okay. Seems
and
pretty
yeah,
basic.
Yeah, it's straightforward. There's not like a huge, complicated thing to it. You race and you win races. You get money or coins, which you can then use to buy some of the blind boxes,
Right.
which are not. Those are all vehicles that are not part of the season passes. So
it's not just cosmetics; it's actually like vehicles that you can unlock.
Yeah. Like last night, I just unlocked DeLorean.
Oh, cool.
Back to the Future DeLorean.
Yeah.
Specifically, it has a flex capacitor and everything in it. So there's like the dividing line where like you don't have to touch any of that, but it is kind of baked into the game itself,
Right.
Which is probably its only real downfall, because I think I would have preferred just and as you play, you do just unlock cars naturally.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all locked behind a blind box, but that is where you will be unlocking the majority of your cars from, is
That's
by
lame.
utilizing the coin currency that you get from winning races, to then, and they do have a specific shop area where you can just outright buy the ones you want, but it's on a rotating basis. So there's only 4 for like 12 hours or whatever. I never used this because it's such a bad like economic move in terms of the currency, because if you look at some of the like more higher tier cars,
Mm-hmm.
you can buy them outright for like 1,200 gold or whatever, or you can use 500 gold to just get another blind box. And there's plenty of cars to where your odds are pretty high of getting something you don't already have.
Okay.
So
do they incentivize, like, if you get a repeat, they give you like coin, basically?
So if you get a repeat, you can either sell them for coins, and then use that to buy another blind box, or you can there's also gears in the game which you can use to upgrade the tier level of a car. So if you have a common car and you want to upgrade it to a rare version of it, then you can use the gears for that.
Still seems kind of pay to win in order to unlock, like,
honestly,
the car you want.
Normally I would say maybe, but
Okay.
I used 2 cars to win the full campaign, and the full campaign is like 52 normal races and like 32 time trials. Um, and yeah, within that campaign, there's some like specific goal-oriented stuff where you have to use specific cars. And I actually would have really liked if there were more of those, but there's only like 3 of those types of instances in there.
Yeah.
Where it's like use this specific car to do whatever. And those are fun little challenges. But for the majority of the time, you can just use whatever. And once you find a car that you like, there's like, other than experimenting and be like, oh, I want to use this car, there's not really a reason to use anything else. So yeah, I was only really collecting because of like, I want to see what else other cars there are, and also trophies.
But you can't see like all of the cars that you could possibly unlock. You have to like
you can. It shows like, so if you haven't unlocked a car, it shows it as like a blank spot. It doesn't show you what the car is. And then once you get that car, then it's populated within your little roster area.
Right. Is the gameplay at least fun? Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, up front how many like rare or legendary cars there are in the game, so you don't just have to keep buying in hopes that there's one secret one that you haven't gotten.
Right.
But all that being said, like the core of the game is fucking awesome.
Okay.
It's such a fun game. And it's just like when you nail down the drift mechanic, especially, it feels fucking badass. It feels like you're like out of Initial D or some shit, where you're just drifting. Like there's points in races where you can just drift pretty much for the entire track.
Wow. Yeah, the gameplay we're looking at, the guy is not the best at it, but it looks pretty bare bones from a gameplay perspective. Like it looks like it's a racing game.
One thing, it looks like this is the first track of the game.
Okay.
So there's that. And the thing with, this doesn't look like this person playing is very good. It's a pretty easy game. Unless you knock it up to the higher difficulty levels, you're not really going to have any problems with it. So you can fuck up, hit walls or whatever, and pretty much still bounce back and win no matter what.
Right.
And that really boils down to it. It's a kid's game, more or less. It's not like specifically like this is for toddlers, but it's supposed to be accessible enough to where children can play it. So again, if you knock it up to the hard difficulty, then yeah, they'll give you a run for your money. But if you're just playing on standard or whatever, then yeah, it's no sweat really. The hardest you'll ever have in the campaign is if you're doing time trials, because a lot of them require you to cheat a track,
right?
Whereas you'll like skip a portion of it. So that's really the only time you'll probably struggle in the game itself. But it's a good feeling racing game. And especially if you like arcade racers, I definitely recommend it. Probably not full price, just because once you're done with the campaign,
there's not much else.
Yeah, there's not much else. You can do quick runs or whatever, and they have a whole community suite where people are making. You can do your own custom tracks, and of course, anytime you provide people tools to make their own shit, you can go on and like people are just
crazy,
wild stuff.
That almost seems like a foregone. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it almost seems like when you have a racing game like this, especially when it's not tied to this one is tied to the Hot Wheels brand, but it's all about customizing tracks. So it seems like if it had to be
either. The amount of detail you can go into customizing your cars is obscene. Like if you're big on detailing, it's fucking nuts. It's exactly what you would want from this sort of game. You want, in terms of Hot Wheels, like making your own tracks, putting your own twist on your vehicles and all that. Like that's what you would hope for in terms of a creation suite. So it's all there. Which if you're into, that'll provide you some extra time as well. But ultimately with the gameplay, unless you really get into the online scene, which there is a fairly healthy online scene for this right now.
Okay.
Um,
Because this just came out, right?
a couple months back, I think.
Then never mind.
3 or 4 months ago. But it's just it feels good to play, which
Okay.
is nice.
Do you see it lasting a while due to the customizing tracks?
I can see it as going down as like a cult favorite for sure. People are still always making tracks. Like I said, they have the DC event going on right now, and a monster truck thing as well. I think there's at least one more pack sort of thing that they're planning.
Yeah.
Fucking Clint. Yeah, if you really, they have bosses, these like little boss battles with the, there was the spider there, there's a pterodactyl, and they'll like throw environmental hazards in the track that you need to avoid. And so that's a little bit of a twist on some of the races.
Kind of Mario Kart-esque, in a way.
Yeah, just without items.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thoroughly enjoying that. I am done with it though, so I.
You're moving on. That's fair.
But I wouldn't be surprised, if I get an itch down the line where I'm like, yeah, I want to go and do a race or two of that, because, like I said, it just feels so good to play that it's what you would want from an arcade racer.
Yeah.
So for sure, if you see it on sale and that's like your jam, I'd say definitely go for it. I don't know if I'd say spend full price just because of all the blind box stuff, and once you finish, then you'll probably only be going back, unless you become like a hardcore fan. You'll only be going back sparingly to do 1 or 2 races here and there when you get the itch. But
you got the value out of it that you thought you would get. Yeah,
I did. Well, mine was a rental, so
I
really got the value out of it.
Exactly. Oh, that's cool. What else has been going on?
Other than that, not much. I watched Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel. Those guys.
Let's catch up on Obi-Wan, because we'll talk about both, because I saw both as well. We didn't talk about episode 3, which is the big Darth Vader episode, and then a lot of people are a bit peeved about the way the series has been going. Of course, the Star Wars fandom being the Star Wars fandom, but episode 4 being because it doesn't have a huge cameo or references to the rest of the movies or whatever. It was somehow bad. Anyway,
I enjoyed episode 4. I do understand why people are the way they are, because Star Wars fans go to Star Wars fans, but god damn, man, I'm at the point where honestly, I don't know how Disney is supposed to hedge their bets going forward. It's just getting more volatile and volatile on both sides of the issue, where either you have the fandom menace who hates literally everything new because Disney is blasted, or they don't like that black people are in Star Wars for some reason. Or the other side that's just I've never cared about Star Wars. Please shut up about Star Wars, blah, 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 which is in sort of a reaction to the fucking loudmouth racist bigot shit.
It's the same thing with Miss Marvel.
I'm just sitting here in the middle, man, and I'm having a good time with the show. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. What is everybody's fucking problem?
Why can't we just if you don't enjoy it, then just let it go. Don't talk about it.
Fuck up. Oh my god.
Let people like things. It's not hurting anybody to have this show exist. Honestly, it's not physically hurting or harming anyone.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, there's been so much new Star Wars that I think I'm okay for a little while.
Yeah.
If everybody just wants to pull the plug so it can be a lot quieter, I think I'm on board for it. And this is coming from somebody who's enjoying the stuff that's getting put out and has, likes the old stuff, obviously. It's I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I got it on my fucking phone.
Yeah.
I have a huge fucking Tatooine picture above my computer. I'm big into Star Wars. I am so fucking tired about hearing everyone complaining about something to do with Star Wars.
We talked about it in the past. And I got 2 points. We talked about it in the past about how, you know, when people call things mid, how it's it's not really even a valid criticism at this point, because someone is saying like, oh, you know, it's whatever, is essentially what they're saying, but using a new buzzword. When I hear somebody call the show mid, I know that they don't actually have a valid criticism of the show. They just don't like a particular aspect of it, or they weren't blown away by it, like Spider-Man No Way Home or Avengers Endgame, or I don't know, insert Star Wars entry here, like an episode of Mandalorian or whatever. And because they weren't blown away, or because they weren't surprised in any way, it's somehow not as good as any of the things that came before it, or it's somehow worse, or it's somehow terrible.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing where you absolutely know everything you need to know about a person whenever they complain about something being woke.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, that's your buzzword that you're going to use?
Yeah.
I don't really need to have this conversation with you anymore.
Yeah, so. You don't like something because you, for some reason, think the studio was pandering to a specific audience when, I mean, and again, they're so tied into each other, not only because of their parent company, but because Miss Marvel just started coming out, and how there's a whole like movement of Christians against Miss Marvel, and the whole like people like arguing that the villain in Obi-Wan is somehow a terrible villain because she's black. And it's just like, well, if you don't like it, fine. Just like move on to something that you think. Go watch The Boys, or go watch I don't know, Fox News.
Crawl into a hole or something. Like
I don't wish anything bad on people who dislike things. You're allowed to have your own opinion. You are entitled to your own opinion. But if you're gonna start like attacking people online anonymously because they have a different opinion of you on a TV show that they like, then you're wasting your time, your breath, and you're only hurting and harming people. Yeah. So I also think it's been fine. Obi-Wan is, you know, exactly what I expected. I didn't expect him to like start fighting Darth Maul in the middle of it, because I watched Star Wars Rebels. I've watched the previous entries in his story. This takes place years before that. So, I don't know. Just enjoy it for what it is. If it's not something you like, then stop watching it.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, maybe I could see the criticism of like, oh, 4 is a bit of a slow down point compared to 3. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's 6 episodes and 3 was your halfway point.
Yeah.
Of course, 3 is going to be a fucking banger episode, and 4 is going to slow it down a little bit.
Because it's not. It doesn't include a duel between him and Darth Vader. Yeah. And the same people still complained about the whole all of episode 3 too. I saw people like, oh, why is Darth Vader so like lazy and like walking around? And where's Hayden Christensen? You motherfuckers hated Hayden Christensen. Yeah, you guys hated the prequels, and now you want him in this entire series.
It is so tiring having the same thing happen with Star Wars over and over, and it's just because of fucking man babies. It's just babies. Well, not even man babies, just babies, just fucking crying all the fucking time about whatever, not using their big boy words. And it's just like, shut up, man.
I feel stupider every time I see someone call something mid.
Even if I dislike a show, I dislike you more if you won't shut up about it. Like,
I honestly, people who are like this in fandoms or call themselves fans, like Star Wars fans, they have profile pictures and all that. You yourself, like if you acted this way, I would have a hard time holding a conversation with you, because I'm like, dude, you have all of this like Star Wars memorabilia. You call yourself a fan, and then you're saying someone else's Star Wars opinion, and I'm only using you as an example. You're not actually like this. But if you are calling someone else's Star Wars opinion garbage because they liked an episode of Book of Boba Fett that you didn't like, then what kind of fan are you? You're gatekeeping.
You're just angry. You're not even a fan. You're just fucking angry all the time.
You're wasting so much air. Like honestly. But so far, have been enjoying Obi-Wan. I did notice there was a Reddit thread that was talking about the parallels between each Obi-Wan episode, because they're called part 1, 2, 3, 4. How the parallels between this and the original Star Wars films before the sequel trilogy.
It's super noticeable in episode 3. I mean, that entire Vader sequence is like, you can draw a line from that to the duel with Luke in Empire. I mean, like, to the point where Vader's jumping out of corners and shit. Well, and there's like smoke screens going off. I mean, it's great.
I mean, yeah. Specifically that like part 1, it has references to Phantom Menace. Part 2 has references to Attack of the Clones. Part 3 is the duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker, and then episode 4 is them infiltrating an Empire base and then having to escape. So I mean, who knows what kind of maybe people are reaching and everything, but that kind of part of the fandom where people are like guessing and theorizing, that's fun, as long as you're not trying to.
People are excited about what they're watching. And like,
it's positive.
I see that shit and I'm like, this is fun. This is why this is part of the reason why I'm enjoying it, is because I'm a fan and I see the parallels from other parts of the franchise, and I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing here. They're drawing that line from here to there, and like, I get that. That's enjoyable.
But for every one of those like theory comments I see on a like a review episode of something of Obi-Wan, or for for every one of those comments, like, oh, I'm really excited for what they did in this episode, right underneath it, every single time there's somebody's like, dude, this episode was so mid. It's like, what are they even doing with this show? Why even make it? Or coming from the same people who are like begging for this show.
Well, and that's another criticism that I'm tired of hearing about, honestly, just in television and film criticism as a whole. Is this necessary criticism? No, but like, how lazy is that, man? Like, if I was just like, if I went to see a movie and I was like, my job was to review something, and I sat down at my computer and wrote down my review, which was, I don't really know if this is necessary. The end. Like, that's nothing. It's a nothing statement. Nothing is necessary. All right. Like, we live in a world where consequences be damned for anyone in power. And yeah, I'm getting real here. And it's just like, fucking, like, I know people joke about like consume media and blah 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 blah, and it's like, you can have a fine line between that. You don't have to give a pass to everything that you're supposed to like, but you can also go deeper than just like, oh, the Disney overlords are force feeding you this shit and it's not necessary and you don't have to fill in the gaps. I'm like, yeah, you don't, but I'm enjoying it. Like,
we live in a world where we have so many streaming services, and we knew we were always going to get to this point. Like 10 years ago, we knew we were going to get to this point. So many streaming services, so many shows, that when a show gets canceled, you shouldn't be surprised by this point, because they can't afford to have every single new franchise or new IP have a sequel and a spin-off series. And like, only Disney is able to do that because they have the billions and billions of dollars.
They own everything.
Netflix is only able to do that with so many shows. And while it is disappointing to see, several animation studios, get shut down with their production because, they have to renew Big Mouth for another season, or movie studios only able to make a sequel to a franchise that has been long dead for years and years and years. Universal, we'll get to you in a minute. It's sad to see, but we shouldn't be shocked whenever we're not able to see new original content that we're not used to seeing, because they see the money where it's going, and that's towards franchises that people are familiar with. And you can call it mid, but you're still buying the ticket to go see it. And so they see the numbers and they're like, all right, put another one up. Honestly.
here's the thing too. Like a lot of the people who are like, oh man, I'm so tired of all these franchises and whatnot. They're the ones pirating that shit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not giving them money, but you clearly have enough interest to pirate it. Yeah. So what moral ground do you have to stand on except being a loudmouth who won't shut the fuck up and let people enjoy things?
Yeah. If you don't like it, stop watching it. I guess I keep saying that, but that's what it boils down to. That scared me. I thought that was my computer. I may have peed a little.
Hey, how do I mute my? Sorry.
I gotcha. He's got so many pets, folks. Honestly, I know he can still hear me. He's got the birds. He's got the dogs. But, I mean, maybe we're talking in circles a little bit. But what it boils down to is, if you're not happy with something, then just move on. There's literally so many shows, so many movies, so many franchises to get introduced to, so many ways to entertain yourself. It doesn't have to be movies or TV shows. You can go out and touch grass. I don't know.
Grass does feel nice sometimes.
I mean, go out there, take off your shoes, step in some glass, fucker. I'm sorry. I got real angry. I got real angry real quick. But yeah, we're both enjoying Obi-Wan, right? Are you?
Yeah. I mean, like, even there are some points where, and to my earlier statement, yeah, for sure, there's some criticisms I could levy against it. Like, there was, oh gosh, there was something in episode 4. Oh yeah, so when they're trying to sneak back out of the base, and they're just like, let's just put a coat over. Like, and then people just keep on walking by. Like, okay, yes, you can criticize that shit because that's kind of dumb. Like, who in their right mind would see that and be like, yeah, that's fine?
Did you not immediately think of Austin Powers when he's on Mini-Me's shoulders? Because I saw that clip too right after. No, okay, so barring, the fact that they didn't see an extra pair of legs on this man, but the fact that he
has a growth coming out of the side of his...
I'm saying, like, ignoring all of that from, like, the chest up, he has Obi-Wan's face that should be one of the most recognizable faces to the Empire, the face that they're looking for, and they still, like, were like, it's just this guy in a robe,
Yeah, that was silly. Yeah. But, there's a couple silly things like that, and I think as long as you are able to see that for what it is and not be like, but this show is perfect and has no faults whatsoever.
You got to find a healthy medium. Yeah, just like enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, move on.
Yeah. My groceries just arrived, which is what my dog was barking at. So I am going to either turn it over to you to talk about what you did this week, and we can talk about Miss Marvel when I return.
Yeah, let's do that.
Or you can go on a break, or whatever. I'm going to be unpacking groceries for like 5 minutes.
All right, no worries. Get out of here. All right, we're going to change my name to this real quick because it doesn't make any sense, and we'll switch it back. We're just going to watch some funny videos. Yeah, watch some funny videos, eh? Yeah, we'll do that. You laugh, you lose. How about that? Let me be quiet for a minute.
Yo, you see that plane?
Damn it.
Hi, I'm the Wicked.
All right, hold on. From now on, if I laugh, I lose. And I'll, here. We'll see how many times I lose. That's a timer. Number of times I lose. Where's that thing? There we go.
What don't women understand about men?
Cheeseburgers.
Salve.
Why is there a zebra in the house?
Gotten this bath bomb at a party about a year ago, and I wanted to try it out. So, here we go.
Pull this thingy, point the nozzle suchly, and calmly squeeze this metal.
But I got the honey.
You may got the honey, but I got the sugar.
I know where this is going.
Autobots, roll out.
That's gonna fall on the floor.
I'm hungry,
Yep.
bro. Let's see. Yo, who put Michael Jackson in the freezer?
When you're trying to make a TikTok but you're running out of pancakes, so you have to wash it.
Gross.
Miss Mark? Oh, thank you so much, Mark.
Cola.
A Mountain Dew!
Mester of Germany, his first attempt in the javelin.
He's a shorter man.
Opening attempt.
They're all shorter men.
Second attempt. 26:40 to open. That'll treat you something special.
That cat was sideways. I'm sorry, what?
Фу, блядь, уйди нахуй. Вот отъебись ты, блядь, от меня нахуй. Да ты...
That wasn't a laugh.
M for Mario? No! Oh yeah, W for Luigi!
I have nerves of steel.
Have you heard about this? You better know what this is, or else I'm gonna come find you.
Hey, Peter. Can you say bye?
Mother. Clash of Clans, right?
You don't have a double chin. What you do have is bad posture. So all you need to do is 2 steps. Bring your shoulders up, back, and down. Bring your chin slightly forward and then slightly down, and look at the difference. That
was the turtle from Kung Fu Panda. I love it. Oh no!
I'm the sous chef here. With any luck, I should be head chef by next year. I've got this amazing fiance, who I won't be marrying this weekend. Because I'm about to be in a terrible accident. But really, I should have cleaned up the grease over there. And they should never put the deep fryer so close.
3 times for a free car wash. Ready? He's gonna do it again. Please do it again. Come on, please.
Gross. Oh no. Is there a man in there? There's a man in there.
First, I'll walk the White House back where it belongs.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, what do I guard?
Just window. Just keep watching window. The crack in the wall.
Shush. I don't hear him.
He has an op in teeth.
I bet he went through there. Solid barricade. Okay, well... Stop. Tripwire.
Good call, baby.
All right, bro, good night.
Good night.
All right. Oh, shoot, I forgot to get my water. Yesterday, I posted this picture of myself here on Twitter, and honestly, I thought I looked okay, right? My head shape's a little weird, hair cut a little bit too much, but at the end of the day, I think I look all right. I think I look handsome, right? Apparently not. Do you see what they're doing to me? They're playing tic-tac-toe on my fucking forehead. Do you see this shit? There are multiple games going on of people doing this. This is so fucked up. What did I do to deserve this? Why? Why did they do? Look at this. There's so many. Why?
Can a robot write a symphony?
Almost got me.
Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
I ain't had my wee sucked properly in a few months.
Shake. Shake. Pig. Shake.
Didn't want to shake. Holy shit! He's a trash can.
It was a great show. I mean, why cancel it? 2 words.
Fuck you!
It's not always about the dark side of the Force, Luke. It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby, let's go get a home run, baby. Love the Mets.
Let's go, Mets.
Let's go, Mets.
Pep's the best. Pep's the best.
No! No, 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 no. Why? People have a weird sense of humor.
I just got a notification on my phone. It's the FedEx guy, my security camera. And so I watch him come up. He's acting a little weird. And as he's leaving, I realize what's happening. And so this is that clip I want to show you.
Huh.
I never thought anybody would take this for real.
Yeah, no, that's a standard reaction. That's fair.
What?
This is why the internet. This is why the internet was invented. This is why the internet. I could watch this for hours.
You got your food. I know you're hungry. I know you're starved. Here's your drink.
If I was a dad.
Every human being that you don't know on a personal level is not real. They're all NPCs and you can say whatever you want to them. Watch this. Hey, how's it going? Just here to drop off coupons. Sweet. Did you hear the big news?
What's the news?
Danny DeVito got an OnlyFans account.
He did not.
Yeah.
He makes so much money.
$25 a month. I'll tell you right now, it is worth the money.
Is it really?
Oh, that man is short and thick. All right. Have a good Monday night, huh? It's 11.
Okay. You all right?
Yeah, I just realized, was my audio going the whole time?
I don't know. Maybe. I didn't really notice.
I came back to unmute me, and it looked like it was not muted. So sorry if you guys got a lot of rustling there.
I mean, maybe, but like the YouTube, the video was going on too, so it might have just sounded like part of the video. So you look like you had just like ran over a cat or something.
I just put away all the refrigerated and freezer stuff, and one of those things was watermelon, which had busted open.
What is the thing? Oh, that sucks. But what is the thing about like everybody wanting watermelon nowadays?
Good. It's good. I think it's in season right now.
Oh yeah, I guess that would be true. Just a lot of people wanting to crush watermelons in between their legs. Do you think you could do that?
No, absolutely not.
No,
I
you don't think
have
so?
the thighs for that. No.
Do you think I could do it?
Yes, I think you could do it.
All right, worth investigating.
I don't know if you have the thighs for it, but I think you have the internal rage for it.
You know what? Maybe it will make up for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to train. You know what? I might do that next episode. I might try that.
Lay down tarp.
Yeah,
Gallagher.
We'll do it. We'll do it. I'll do it with my thighs. I know that you weren't the only person who probably thinks I could do it, but we'll see. We'll see. But other than the watermelon, what else? Everything else turned out okay, or?
Yeah. It's just, I was rushing through it to get back.
Fair enough. All right, let's talk about Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
So you got a chance to watch the first episode as well, right?
I did, yes.
Cool. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was very enjoyable. I like a lot of the stylistic approaches that they're taking with it. It's very different than what we've seen so far. I think the closest maybe would be like No Way Home or something like that, or
like Homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah. But yeah, just a lot of the little details in the background that they're doing for sure are specifically this show. It seems
very Scott Pilgrim-esque,
yes.
Right? The comparisons have been made. They're there. Love the hang in there cat poster. I want one. But yeah, it was like, we'll get to the representation later, but the childhood imagination of it, right? Like you could almost picture Kamala and Bruno like actually imagining the drawings appearing on those sides of the buildings, because that's what they're thinking about. It's very much like into the mind of a teenage girl or boy or whoever in the context.
Yeah.
And like it really feels, and I hate I fucking hate, we'll get to it here in a sec. I fucking hate the people that are saying, oh yeah, this is a kid's show for kids, you know, because she's a kid and it's all about her being a teenager and you're going through high school. So I'm like, that was Spider-Man literally a few months ago.
I assume anyone making that sort of criticism is not, they're not being intellectually honest, or they're just don't care.
Oh yeah. Like she has like cartoon effects popping up around her head, so it's a kid's show. What are you talking about? This is set in the same universe as The Punisher.
Yeah.
Like literally. Or Daredevil or Avengers, you know, insert dark, the Eternals. This is set in the same universe as that weird sex scene between those two god characters.
You hang on to for Eternals.
Well, I mean, it was when I went to go see it in theaters, I'm like, I knew there was a sex scene. I didn't know how long it was going to be. And it's not like a super long scene, but it's like
certainly not Zack Snyder's Watchmen.
It's more than like a minute long. So you're like, I'm surrounded by kids. Parents didn't know. They didn't do their research. Only because it's a Marvel movie.
Look. I mean,
no. Parents see Marvel.
I don't worry about that shit, because the same thing happened with Deadpool.
Yeah,
like there was literally people who were trying to make lawsuits out of the fact that they took their kid to watch Ryan Reynolds talk about, you know, shit in his pants or, you know, something.
Erections, you know. I don't know.
And it's like literally minimum amount of research was needed.
It's and the fact that, you know, the Marvel name for a lot of parents who don't know any better, like our parents who are taking their grandkids or taking their nieces or nephews to go see these movies or TV shows, and allowing it to happen because, you know, the Marvel name means comic book characters. So comic books, they don't really have all of that ultra violence. They don't talk about like super dark matter or like controversial topics, although they do all of the time. That was like Stanley's I wouldn't call it his I almost said joie de vivre, his raison d'etre. For a lot of the characters that he created, he used them as allegories to talk about important issues. X-Men is about I almost said racism. It's not about racism, although it's definitely about it kind of is. It kind of is. They all have their own allegories. You know, the Hulk is about like rage and how to control it, how to temper it, all that kind of thing. I'm getting too far into the weeds. Ms. Marvel is all about this character who's having to go through like, I'm a fan and I look up to these characters, but like I'm not these characters.
I can't be me. Well,
I can't be me. Yeah.
Yeah. She's not given the freedom to express herself that she feels like.
Right.
In a way that I've seen resonate with a lot of other first generation American Pakistanis. Like it is a story that is familiar to a lot of people, and it's why we're seeing so many gravitate towards it so much. That it's just so far episode 1 is a well constructed piece of television. You know, it's got a lot of character work. It moves quick. When it ended, I was like, "Oh fuck, that's it!" Like,
now I gotta wait a week. Yeah.
You know, it's just a well-made show on top of all the extra stuff that it's doing with its main character and her upbringing.
And because she's not, and I'm not saying she's an unknown character, but because she is a lesser known character to the larger audience, to people who just go watch Marvel properties and they know exactly how much they read about in like news headlines and stuff. She's an important character for a very distinct group of people, and it's showing that representation and showing this new angle of the MCU that's is fresh, and it feels far and above better than some of the more recent Disney Plus projects. And I honestly think that she definitely should have had her own movie before she had her own TV show. I think she could have easily had a very profitable movie.
I think it could have worked, but I mean, granted, we've only seen one episode, so there remains to be seen, like if it sticks any landings. But I think this is a good way to do origin things, and we kind of talked a little bit about it when Hawkeye was dropping. But I think established characters are what fill movie roles a little better than new ones. I think TV shows provide a unique opportunity to do the origin story without getting bogged down and feeling like, oh, well, just as we're getting started, now it's over. So look forward to number 2 in 3 years or whatever. And I think this is going to allow Miss Marvel and Kamala Khan the room to establish herself as an actual person, as opposed to, I think something that happened to Doctor Strange when the first movie dropped is it just felt like Doctor Strange. You don't really get a good sense of who Stephen Strange is in that movie, other than he kind of just seems like a knockoff Tony Stark.
I retract what I said.
I enjoyed Doctor Strange for what it was, but like there's not a whole lot of character work going on there. And the movies often have a problem with doing that character work because they have to rely on the plot so heavily. Iron Man 1 is kind of an outlier and I think a lot of it just kind of is owed to Robert Downey Jr., where the majority of that movie is actually more character work than it is plot. But on the whole, you look at Marvel movies, what's your first origin movie? Yeah, you don't really get a good sense of who that hero is until maybe 2 or 3. You know,
well, and
in Thor's case, you know, that's such a mess. Anyway,
so it's interesting you're listing all of those because I think Iron Man will always have that. It had no expectations, so it was the first of its kind, and Thor obviously had a drastic change in tone due to them. They realized that we're going in the wrong direction with Thor. We need to make him more in line with the other heroes. Let's say make him more fun and more colorful. So that's what they did. They involved Taika Waititi, and he's like, "All right, let me see what I can do. I'm cool." How was that? How was that impression?
Sure.
Okay, and I take back what I said about Kamala, because I definitely feel like a TV show is able to give you more of that room to discover the origins of this character, a character that reflects not only where we are in the MCU timeline when it comes to fandom and having a whole new generation of characters be joining this huge roster of superheroes.
Yeah, we're gearing up for Young Avengers.
Yeah. And we have been for the last couple of years, but the fact that this feels so fresh is because we're doing all of the things that we've been doing right with the more popular movies of the recent era. Like with Thor Ragnarok, we obviously want more color. We just don't want that gray, brown, dull. And I know we just saw it in the trailer, but we're getting a unique look to our TV shows. The reason why Moon Knight didn't really feel all of that all special for me is because it felt kind of samey to the era of the MCU that just like, hey, we're just going with emotions, you know. It highlighted specific aspects of that character and felt more like a Stephen Grant story, but that didn't necessarily mean that we needed to have that story yet. It didn't feel like they were doing enough to justify that show. The same thing with Hawkeye, and that was an established character that we knew. And I think that the reason they should do these Disney Plus shows is to introduce origins for characters that will be a major influence going forward for the MCU. Kind of like what they were trying to do with the Netflix series with the street level heroes, and what they're actually implementing too. The damage control agent, who's if you didn't watch the end credits or the mid credits scene, the damage control agent played by Stewie from Succession is he was in Spider-Man No Way Home, and he was the one who arrested Peter Parker. He's now going after Kamala Khan, so we're already starting to see inklings of the MCU leaking into the series. But her involvement with the Marvels, Captain Marvel's sequel, shows that she's going to be a bigger part of the universe at whole. And the whole reasoning behind the changing in her powers too is because they're going to tie the origins of her powers into the DNA of the MCU. Yeah. So there's a reason why she doesn't just have big stretchy Terrigen arms yet. But we'll see.
And, like, they made a point to have a sort of stretchy arm in there, so like,
yeah, she still has.
I think they understand the basis and importance of her original power set, but they're just kind of, you know, workshopping it to fit into the larger.
It's just the first example. It's the first time that they've done this, and so people are kind of like, I wouldn't say whiplashed from it. They're just kind of like.
Well, Whiplash, it's funny that you mentioned that. Whiplash is actually a good example because I'm pretty sure he got a lot of flack for being a little different as well.
No, I mean like literal whiplash.
No, I know. It was just a good play.
All right, fine. But yeah, changing the origins, and I guess even, damn it, Arthur Harrow's character, who's just like a one comic character, but they wrote as the main villain for the Moon Knight series. Like, okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
you have to change some aspects of certain comic book characters to fit in line with this universe, because it's not to make it more real or more grounded. It's to make it make it fit. It has its own universe now. We are literally in a Marvel Cinematic Universe. It has to fit in that universe. It has rules.
It has its own Earth designation, which I can't think of the time. 216 or something like that. I don't know.
No, this is. Isn't it 616? We are like,
that's what it is, 616.
Like, because people were making a big like hubbub about how this is 616 is the Marvel Comics Earth, and this was Earth 1999 for all the way up until I think Thor 1, because Selvig wrote Earth 616 on like his chalkboard or whatever. Doesn't matter. There's been like hints at it being a specific Earth, and then like little sprinklings of, oh, this is, you know, this exact Earth, and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is the MCU Earth. We know this one.
There you go.
So
I'm quite enjoying it. I hope it keeps up the pace. I have no reason to imagine that it wouldn't. I do think I worry a little bit about the back half, because much like the Netflix Marvel shows, that problem has seemed to rear its head on more than one occasion with the Disney Plus Marvel shows, where the back half kind of gets a little lost in the shuffle. Kind of trying to figure out how to get places without like mapping it out, you know,
how to move the character to where they need it to go in the next step, which they know is going to be the Marvels, which doesn't come out for like another year, like literally. Well, hold on, the Marvels release date.
I think because of that, they have a little bit more leeway with Miss Marvel, the show, because like I said, they could do that character work, make the show primarily about Kamala's journey and her origin into her Miss Marvel persona, before going into the movie.
So July 28th is when The Marvels comes out.
Gotcha.
Directed by Nia DaCosta. The Marvels.
Called The Marvels, not Captain Marvel 2 anymore.
It hasn't been. It's been The Marvels for about a year now.
I missed that.
It's Carol Danvers, Kamala Khan, Monica Rambeau, and then some other characters that have been announced as well. And Nick Fury. Directed by Nia DaCosta, who, if you're unfamiliar, did the most recent Candyman reboot. I believe that's her most recent film.
Yeah.
So.
I think she's done some TV, some
she
episodes.
has, yeah.
But specifically some episodes for certain shows recently. I can't think of what they are.
Hold on. I agree with you. I definitely am worried about its second half. Nothing else other than some TV show episodes. And I'm worried because we don't have any inkling as to who the villain is. We didn't get any sort of tease as to that in the first episode. But kind of furthering my point earlier about how we don't really kind of know where it's going to take place, especially because we're going to have a whole year in between when the series ends and when the next time we see her in The Marvels. And because we have so many Disney Plus products in between now and then that are going to distract us or like sidetrack us with, you know, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, if that's still happening.
Still happening, but I think it's next year.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Or I Am Groot, I know is coming out.
Pretty sure Secret got pushed to 2023.
MCU release. Whoops, can't type today. MCU release timeline. Oh boy. Oh, CNET. Oh, CNET. Oh, the ads. Oh, the ads. Okay. And it's only giving me movies. Perfect. Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, What If Season 2, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Secret Invasion is still slated for 2022. So we still have 4 other shows. Not to mention Agatha, House of Harkness, Armor Wars, Echo, Ironheart, and a Wakanda series that have yet to be announced, which will be 2023 or 2024 to tie into those shows like Black Panther 2 or whatever the next Avengers is, which I do believe will be just called Young Avengers. And I think that's probably going to be like 2024, probably. It's going to be interesting. I don't know. They also have a Blade series that's coming out. Blade movie. Sorry. Yeah, Blade movie, which was hinted at in Eternals. A lot. We're in a very big universe. So the fact, I mean, she's eventually, maybe she's going to go off into space at the end of the series. That'll be my prediction. Or Carol Danvers is going to show up at the end, at the very least, right?
How would you feel if there was no real big bad for the show?
It's just like her dealing with like
Yeah, and it has a couple small timers, but ultimately it's about her and her growing into her new role and her managing her relationships with her parents and friends, and because that's kind of how I see something like this working. And maybe I'll be eating crow in like 2 episodes or whatever, and someone shows up, but I could definitely see this working as a sort of like coming of age Marvel show. You know,
I don't think so, because we're seeing an explosion of Circle Q. It definitely seems a little bit far-fetched for a superhero comics series. Like, we got silhouettes of villains here, or at least like antagonistic characters here. That's
yeah.
So I mean, maybe we're gonna get. Well, it was recently announced that the Thunderbolts was going to be released as either a TV show or a movie, but that it is currently like being developed right now, and that's already been kind of something that has been teased with. Madam Hydra, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and the sort of the kind of anti-hero characters that have been introduced into TV shows and movies. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Agent and all that.
U.S. Agent. I definitely think Abomination. I definitely think that there will be an antagonist. I just don't know who, because I'm not super.
There wouldn't be an antagonist. I wonder if they're going to focus more on the prior as opposed to that.
I don't know. The trailer kind of hints at it being. Oh no! I do remember she does have a villain, and it was announced. It was announced. Gotcha. In fact. Hold on. I'm pretty sure we got it in the. Oh.
You know, you can move it frame by frame.
Yes, that's what I'm doing, Zach. And now it's taking forever. Oh, like we're seeing. Oh, there's that. There's those characters, and then we got. Come on! I saw it, because it's a guy that dodges her punch. She's at a mosque. Is in her hands. Get it? Because she's got big stretchy hands. There. This guy. Who
it just looks like there's some grunt though.
That can't be a grunt. He's wearing a face mask.
What are you talking about? Grunts are the most obvious to be wearing face masks.
Let's just do it, because like call it a spoiler or whatever. But I can't type today. Kamran, who is an established comic book character, Rish Shah, who I'm sure I just butchered his name. But he has very similar powers to Kamala Khan. So, sorry to rain on your parade, but fuck you.
Hey, while we're here, we're looking at that IMDb rating. Hey, if you're a racist who's bombing this just because you're an asshole, fuck off.
Yeah. Look at this. That's ridiculous. Not possible at all.
Come on, man. This fucking. Ugh.
Let's see who's. Yeah. Yeah. People who review bomb things, like you're rating it low because somebody had. I feel like we're retreading, Yeah. But it's gonna happen.
Same conversation. It's literally the same fucking conversation that we had about Star Wars.
I hate it.
Fucking losers with no goddamn life, just sitting around.
Go back to playing COD or Apex and being a total dipshit. Actually,
I know you guys are on COD because you're the reason why I don't play COD, because you're too busy shouting racist epithets and homophobic slurs. So go back on there. Go back to your little fucking hidey hole where we don't have to deal with you.
Same thing with Overwatch. Same thing with Counter-Strike. Same thing with any first-person shooter that's free to play, and like, oh, this guy isn't a main. He's mid player. He's cheating. He's screen tearing or whatever. Before we finish out, because we're so like movie and TV show heavy today.
Yeah, you want to talk about your Jurassic Park experience?
Yeah, so I rewatched every Jurassic Park and World movie, and I can't believe I did that. However, I will say that not all of them are as bad as you think.
I have specific opinions about the first trilogy that I don't think line up with a lot of people's.
What are your like thoughts on that you think are controversial?
The first three movies altogether are a solid trilogy. Do they get dumb? Yeah, for sure. But it's Jurassic Park, and nothing ever really matches the like awe-inspiring emotion, as it were, of the first Jurassic Park, because that's like a perfect fucking movie.
Yeah.
But 2 is dumb fun. 3 is dumb fun. I've rewatched 3 so many times, probably on par with 1.
I think that 3 only seems like an outlier, not only because it wasn't directed by Spielberg. This is a James Cameron situation. Like, he directed both Jurassic Park and Lost World Jurassic Park. So if you hate Lost Worlds, or you think that it's not as good as the first one, granted, they're 2 totally different movies. And I will even say, when I was watching, I'm like, why does this seem like a TV movie? Spielberg has even come out and said, like, I don't think I should make sequels after this. This Lost World was the reason he doesn't make sequels anymore.
Yeah.
And that's simply because of the pressure of trying to...
What we could have had with War Horse 2.
Oh my God. Or what we could have had with AI 2. Ready Player 2.
Hey, that's I believe that's a thing that because the
I know
book
the book
sequel is optioned.
Yeah, well, only because of the success of We're Gonna Get to You. But I think 3 is an outlier because it feels detached from the first and second movie, which is ironic because they both have the equal number of like characters that are missing from the other. And so like you've got Ian Malcolm and Hammond in the second one, but then you have Ellie Sattler and
Alan
Grant in the third one. So it's just like, we're missing characters. And then of course with this final one, you have everyone. Don't move. It's just, they can't see if you're whatever. Overall, the only reason why they keep making these is because they make a lot of money and because there's a lot of nostalgia for the first film. All of the movies overall, except for the first one, are all just about on par. The people that are hating Dominion, rightfully so, because there are a lot of story issues with it, not just because it's like, oh, why the CGI dinosaurs don't look good, or the characters saying cheesy lines. Like, that's just part of the franchise. Dominion has a lot of why the fuck are they doing this kind of thing. Can I spoil a little bit of it for you? The story isn't about dinosaurs. In fact, dinosaurs are in it about 20% of the time. It's about giant locusts. Giant locusts are eating the grains of farmers across the world, and so they're diminishing the world supply. And so Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, they go off and do their side B mission of trying to solve why this non-InGen company is doing this. And then, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you finish up.
And then Chris Pratt is off trying to rescue the character that was introduced in Fallen Kingdom that no one liked, because she's now the MacGuffin. I almost said MacGyver. She's the MacGyver of this movie, because she was spoiler for Fallen Kingdom. She is a clone of a female scientist that worked at InGen with Henry Wu and Ellie Sattler and blah 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 blah. So obviously the sequel trilogy is all there. A sequel trilogy is actually more tied together than the previous trilogy, the original trilogy, because it has like one main through storyline. Colin Trevorrow started with Jurassic World and directed Dominion. J.A. Bayona, who directed The Impossible, great movie, directed Fallen Kingdom, and it has a lot of like tonal differences from World and Dominion because different director.
Yeah. It sounds like when you're describing the plot to me, what you're actually describing is a Godzilla movie.
It is. This is a Godzilla movie. I'm telling you that this is all about like. Obviously, dinosaurs have they've now not conquered the Earth, but they're all over the world. And this is set like in real time, 4 years after Fallen Kingdom. So dinosaurs are now a part of nature to where like people are at the park, and then all of a sudden a raptor comes in and eats a person, and they're like, ah, shit. Well, that person's dead. We can't do anything about it though because there's dinosaurs all over the planet.
Treat him like you would a grizzly bear or some shit.
But no, like there's scenes in this movie. There's like an underground like flea market, like in, I can't remember. I think it was Malta, where Chris Pratt is trying to figure out who kidnapped his adopted daughter, this clone character. I should be playing. And he's trying to find out who kidnapped her. Meanwhile, somebody releases some like not raptors, but like tiny allosauruses, and they start attacking people. And meanwhile, he's having a knife fight with the smuggler. And in the background, there's just some guys playing cards. Like nothing is happening. Like this is a normal everyday occurrence. And like they have little raptor fights or little I forgot what they're called, the little tiny ones that ate Peter Stormare in Lost World.
Compies.
Yeah, whatever. The little tiny ones that were cute until you saw Peter Stormare get eaten alive by him.
Or in the intro with the little girl.
She didn't get eaten. She only got injured by them. Hammond makes a reference to like she was only slightly hurt. Yeah, she didn't get eaten. That kind of threw me off too because I remember her specifically dying. Yeah, but no, when Ian Malcolm is talking to him in Lost World, he's like, she only got injured. It's fine. I mean, so I need you to go over there. He's like, fuck that. He's more reasonable in Lost World than he is in Dominion, by the way. Because he's now like a guest speaker at this like this dinosaur preserve. There he is. Some just like weird character choices, like characters that haven't been doing anything for like 25 plus years involving dinosaurs, and then all of a sudden they get invited to like, hey, we want you to check out this dinosaur preserve, and they're like, yeah, all right, because the events of Jurassic Parks 1, 2, or 3 didn't happen, so sure.
Yeah.
There's some like weird decisions. This chase scene is straight out of Mission Impossible 4, and it pisses me off because it's just like, hey, let's do that, but with raptors. And
that sounds great, though.
It sounds great.
Objectively, sounds great.
It sounds great. It's you can see it for a brief moment when he travels through the marketplace here. Hold on, and he's just like, "Oh shit, I'm being chased by raptors because the person who smuggled his daughter into Malta to be sold off because her DNA can like cure cancer." She shoots a laser at him that targets like the dinosaurs. They're like, oh shit, okay, we can attack him because he got lasered. So they start chasing him and don't attack anyone else. Meanwhile, T-Rexes just randomly show up and start eating people for no reason besides like, hey, let's have this be in the background for like 10 seconds.
That's not a T-Rex, sir.
The ones in the background, I know they're not T-Rexes. There's only one T-Rex.
Like
not Allosaurus. They're
something with a D.
Dilophosaurus.
Some of them.
And then they, at the end of Dominion, they introduce a Giganosaurus. Like literally, it's called like the Giganosaurus, and it's the largest carnivore on the planet. And they just introduce him because they need a giant T-Rex-like character to fight the T-Rex at the end. And the T-Rex still loses even after World, even after Jurassic Park 2, even after Jurassic Park 3, he loses in every single one. Rexy or
yeah.
He loses in every single fucking movie, only to be helped by another dinosaur. In this case, in Dominion, spoiler alert for the very end, but it's a blind dinosaur with long ass talons that like fucking impales creatures and stuff. It's like, let's just introduce another character.
This is the funny thing about Jurassic Park, the Jurassic Park franchise, is because 1 and 2, the original and Lost World, are like these like outliers now after so many other movies where like, what's your main antagonist? Oh, the T-Rex, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other smaller dinosaurs. You have the raptors or, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But majority, big bad is your T-Rex. And then from 3 onward, they just kept going, but what if we had something bigger? And then they had the Spinosaurus for 3, although I think they fudged the numbers on that one, if I remember correctly.
Well, because Spinosaurus was on a completely different continent than the T-Rex. They never were in the same like environment.
I think size-wise, they fudge the numbers. Like, I don't think it's as large.
Fucking velociraptors are only supposed to be a meter tall. They're supposed to be like the size of large chickens. The size of the baby raptor. Oh shit, it's loading. Come on, you fucking video.
But my point being is that they just always have to create something to automatically win against the T-Rex.
Like, it needs to be bigger or larger teeth.
That's your stakes statement. Like, this is what you're up against.
The Indominus Rex in Worlds. Yeah, it was just like, hey, what if we did a raptor and a T-Rex together with like camouflage and like
I believe there's a shot in World. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you just watched it.
Yeah.
There's a shot in World of like a dead Spinosaurus in the Indominus Rex area, or like it's eating a Spinosaurus or something like that.
I know that they have one that looks like a Spinosaurus. I think,
which I don't believe is the actual name. I just can't think of what the actual name is.
No, I think it's something close to that. But like in 3, you're talking about the one in 3, right?
Yeah, with the fan.
Yeah. Which was just a total bitch. Like that one didn't even. I don't think 3 even had a T-Rex in it, or it had a scene with the T-Rex in it. Oh yeah, and it did defeat the T-Rex. Yeah.
That's how the franchise goes. This is your new big dinosaur. Is it has to beat the T-Rex.
Except the T-Rex in Dominion is the same one that's been in every single installment of this franchise. It's the exact same T-Rex.
Well, in World, it was able to win with the tag team of the Raptors, right?
Yeah. And same thing in World.
That was the spot that got me hyped in that movie. It was like, oh my god, there's a raptor.
Let's do what we did in Park, but like it'll be even more action packed with even more raptors, and we'll show the whole thing. Except the raptors will win, or they'll team up with the T-Rex to beat the Indominus Rex. It's like it was like how we felt when we saw Godzilla versus Kong, where it was Godzilla and King Kong versus Mechagodzilla. Sorry, spoilers. Yeah. Also, dinosaurs with feathers, because fuck you. That was real. I don't know why I'm pointing this way. I'm pointing this way. What?
Science will not rest until dinosaurs remain uncool forever.
They don't even reference it. They just see one. Also, it's those locusts. Like they're just like, hey, this is the main antagonist. The giant locusts are the main antagonists. So, you know what we need in this big, giant dinosaur franchise? Big ass locusts.
So, did you enjoy Dominion?
I thought it was fine. I definitely think it's probably the weakest of the entire franchise, Park and World included. With Fallen Kingdom like right up there. These last 2 movies have not been good, and only because they decide to focus on the I don't know why I keep pausing it. The villains are not really the dinosaurs all along. It's actually us humans. Like when
I mean, that was kind of the point of the first one. It was just a little more subtle.
So
then Henry Wu walking in and being like, "I am evil."
Yeah, I was just a 2-bit character in the first movie. Now I am one of the main villains, and he's not even a villain in this recent one. But it's gotten a bit ridiculous, and unfortunately, this is on track to be the most successful Jurassic entry yet.
Amazing. No, okay. Say what you will about the movie's quality. The fact that they can keep on releasing these ones that just decrease in quality, so just by virtue of the general consensus, and they're still making bank. They're making more bank each one than the previous. It's just like, you know what? I can't even be mad. Hats off. There you go. You did your job.
You get what you pay for, but what you also get is some pretty cringy like storyline and dialogue as well. So people who like enjoy movies overall, they're like average critics. They don't like have specific bias. If they go into this, they're going to think this is not a well-built movie. It's got great dinosaur, CGI. It's got some decent action moments, but cohesively, it does not fucking work at all as a movie.
But to your earlier point, was that not the general held belief on the 2 sequels of the original trilogy?
No, yeah, I completely agree. 2 and actually, you know what's funny, Zach? You want to hear something funny?
Make me laugh. Funny man.
According to Colin Trevorrow, I was taking my shirt off. According
That's
to
not what I asked for at all.
I know it's pretty funny when you look underneath. According to Colin Trevorrow, he specifically wrote Jurassic Worlds to retcon Lost World in 3.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's necessarily true because they still reference Site B happening, like the events of Site B and California or San Diego happening. Which, by the way, why didn't they make that event a bigger deal in the subsequent sequels? Like the fact that
it's that throwaway line in 3, like right at the beginning.
Oh yeah, how it's like
That's it.
we hired you for your experience, with the San Diego event. He's like, I wasn't even on Site B. Sam Neill's like, I wasn't even in the second one.
Yeah.
So it was definitely an adventure rewatching these movies, but I wouldn't say I wasted my time either. They're fun, but they're total fucking nonsense.
Oh yeah,
total nonsense.
It's dinosaurs.
It's dinosaurs, though. You're not getting a lot of like competitors besides sci-fi originals with this kind of, I guess, quality. I will say the highlights of this movie are Jeff Goldblum, who's playing exactly his character from the first movie, not necessarily the second movie, not from Lost World, because he was the main protagonist in that one. He was like, I need to be the Sam Neill character now, but. No, it was Jeff Goldblum, and I can't remember the pilot's name. GF.
Watch my adopted daughter do gymnastics.
Dominion. Oh, shit. Jurassic World. Hold on, we're almost done.
Are there gymnastic spots in
there is
Dominion?
no, so the from Lost World. No, there are no gymnastics there. Oh, there is some like parkour moments. Some people have to do some like
that's the kind of shit that people like rag on, but at the same time I look at that, let that stupid shit that's fun.
DeWanda Wise was great. She plays Kayla Watts. She was a cool, interesting character, also very hot. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing this because you're like, there's not really much else going on, there's not any movies that interest me besides this movie, I think you'll still have an interesting, fun time as long as you turn your brain off. You okay? What happened?
Almost broke another mic. That's fine.
Son of fucking hell. It's not even attached by a cord. Like mine would make more sense.
It is.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I meant like by your headset. Like if you yanked your headset or something. If you turned your head.
I moved my chair and it kind of dragged it over.
Son of a bitch.
My bad.
I will say that you definitely should refresh your memory by at least rewatching Fallen Kingdom. I know that's kind of a big ask because that was people's least favorite before this movie came out. But because there are some storylines that carry over directly from Fallen Kingdom in regards to the young girl. But you could probably watch like Jurassic Park 1 and then the Jurassic World trilogy and you'll be fine. You don't have to watch 2 and 3. Although I probably had more fun watching 3 than I did Dominion. So
yeah,
take of that what you will. I have like some hair in my mouth. Anyway, we're going to end on a different note by watching a trailer for a commercial that threw me off because I didn't know how to deal with it.
Okay.
I didn't know how to comprehend it. You know what it's called?
I don't. Poop like a
champion cereal. Thought there was a trailer for it. There apparently isn't. There we go.
Is this a trailer or a commercial?
It's a commercial, sorry.
90s. It's time for a writing tool that can actually understand.
Deep down, everybody loves to poop. But owning the throne isn't always easy. Enter Poop Like a Champion, the greatest breakfast breakthrough since toast. Now, how does the cereal produce champion poops? With the winning combination of soluble and insoluble fiber. Insoluble fiber is your intestinal powerhouse.
This is real.
It pushes digestion along by bulking up and expanding to become an unstoppable digestive dozer. But soluble fiber is what makes bowel movements magnificent. It becomes a gel-like substance in your gut, trading one perfectly lubricated poop for a smooth ride to the finish. Rest assured, with Soluble on your side, no waste gets left behind. Both fibers are essential for sending you to the can with a can poo attitude. And Poop Like a Champion has more of it than anyone. Be the master of your movements and go for the winning high fiber combo found only in Poop Like a Champion, the #1 cereal for number 2s.
Thank you so much for watching the Good Goose podcast. Make sure to tune in every Saturday at 2 p.m. for this, whatever this was. We appreciate you. We love you. And we will see you later.
Goodbye. Goodbye.